Today, I'm going to go over my top tips on how to fix that leaking gut without having to go strict, restrictive carnivore. Let's get into it. Welcome, everyone, to my very humble life. Now, let's get into this whole leaking gut and my top tricks and tips on how to fix the dang thing without having to literally cut out everything forever. Like carnivore, like being that restrictive. All right, leaky gut, what the frack is it? Okay, guys, you got big old chunky holes in your small intestine. That's where food is absorbed, right? You have the stomach, and below the stomach is this tube that's like zigzagging across your diaphragm. Like, it's like right there. Okay? Well, a little bit lower. And then you have the large intestine that wraps around it, and then you poop everything out. So the intestinal wall has these little hairs, and they work as a way to help filter food from the chyme and slop from your stomach into the blood. They get broken off, and then holes start to appear that used to be tight, and the holes start to get big in your intestinal wall. Then big things can pass through into the bloodstream, and the body's like, what's that? Like, I don't understand. Because in nature, that would never happen, because you wouldn't have antibiotics and heavy metals and all this garbage and plastics and glyphosate and everything that we deal with today that destroys our gut. You know, parents that don't breastfeed us, and C-sections, and yeah, C-sections can wreck you up. If your mother ate and father ate McDonald's, stuff like that. Okay, they wouldn't have that. But we do. So our gut is fracked up, and now the bacteria, so you got the top of the small and the bottom of the large, and food goes from the waste products of the food that your body doesn't use, goes into the small intestine, and there's a lot of amazing bacteria in there. That gets jacked up. So now the bacteria is jacked up, your stomach acid is too low, and you got big ass holes in your small intestine. You start to have inflammation. Every type of illness, itis, health issue comes from that. The hormone issues, the thyroid issues, the weight issues, the itchy issues, the messed up skin, you name it, the inflammatory, the aches, all from that, or mostly from that. The holes. So people could do a carnivore diet because they think, well, I'm going to seal back up those holes by eliminating some plants that aggravate them holes. Because if you don't have them holes in your gut wall, you could tolerate plants a little bit more easier than when you have, like, if your gut is strong, you can tolerate it. When your gut is not strong, you can't. Many cannot, rather. So what are the tips and tricks to seal back up that wall so you don't have to freaking just eat meat for the rest of your dang life? I'm just saying. And you can tolerate plants better than you did prior. And number one, you have to rotate your foods. You really have to understand your symptoms as well. That's actually number one. The bloat, the itchy, the tired, the aches, the pains, the I can't sleep, my blood sugar's cray-cray. All of that can come from having a leaking gut, and then your body starts to develop allergies because of them holes. Okay. Do a keto diet, do a carnivore diet. Carnivore is amazing for the short term to take the inflammatory markers and the inflammation down. But if you do it too long, it'll rebound and rewind and start going back up. I know. Because the bacteria starts to go. Without the fiber, you don't have any of the fermentation process. Now, there's some people that argue that that doesn't matter. But I've witnessed it with my own eyes, working with thousands of people who have done keto and carnivore and low carb and standard American diet, that when you cut out your fiber, the prebiotic fiber, for too long, people start to have allergies, sensitivities to foods they had no problem with before. And we're talking all of it. Cinnamon and freaking avocados and dairy, and they used to be able to eat butter and now they can't on carnivore. So I've seen it with my own eyes when people start to incorporate it just a wee bit. You can ride the line of carnivore and still be considered ketogenic or herbivore, whatever, like an avocado carnivore or ketovore, whatever stupid name that's given. Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is get out all the junk, get out all the high histamine foods. That's really number one. Get them out. If you have a sensitivity to egg whites, child, get them out. Don't eat the berries and all this nonsense of people telling you to do keto with eating fruit, like this dumbest thing I ever heard. Get it out. Fructose, no. High histamine. Try to get fresh, wet hung meat that's grass fed and all of that I've spoken about in many videos. But here comes the juiciness. After you have gotten high quality foods, you want to rotate them. That's the best thing you can ever do. How do you do it? You can take 2 meats and rotate them for 3 days. Like lamb and beef, or like chicken and fish. You can have 1 meat, or you can have 2 meats in a day for 3 days. And you flip, and then you change your meats out to another 2 meats, and on and on and on until you recycle back to the beginning. Now with your fats, you don't have to recycle as much because fat doesn't grow bacteria on it like the other meat does. So you don't always have to cycle your butter, if you do well with butter, as much as you do if you do well with butter. Now, if you don't do well with butter, then you can cycle and start off very small. You want to titrate. If you have a sensitivity to butter, start with like this third thing. Besides rotation, start off small and titrate up. You can start off with a teaspoon of butter, half a teaspoon, or a teaspoon of avocado, or half a teaspoon. Work your way up to 3 teaspoons, and then a tablespoon, and then like a quarter of an avocado, and half, and then a whole. That's how you would do it. And you would do it over time. But you don't want to cut out your high histamine foods completely, because if you do, your body cannot. The diamine oxidase, the inflammation, the enzyme to break down histamine, it ain't going to come alive. So keep it in, because your body does not want to be sick, and it wants to break down the histamine. So always have a little bit and allow your body to learn how to make diamine oxidase and N-methyltransferase, which helps take away or take down and reduce that histamine so you don't feel like shite doing these diets. Because doing carnivore too long can have a rebound effect. Complete rebound. Okay, my next tip is don't flip-flop between keto and carnivore unless you have to. That's my dog. I'm like listening to all the animals. I'm like, what is that? It's like the noise in your car. What is that? Okay, let's do this again. Don't flip-flop between, let's say, being ketotic and eating carbs. Don't do that. Your body needs to figure out if it wants to burn ketones or glucose. Because if you do continue to cycle or target thyroid, your reproductive hormones tank. They tank, and your blood sugar starts to freak out, and that affects your reproductive hormones. Testosterone drops, estrogen dominates. So stick with one and learn how to do it properly. Find out the foods that are giving you histamine. Like I said, take it down, rotate. But my third and fourth, the third thing is follow a circadian rhythm. And don't fast, but follow a circadian rhythm. You get up, you eat. You eat within 30 minutes. and then you eat every 3 hours. And it can be very small. It can be 2 ounces, which is 4 tablespoons. That's nothing. 50 grams in weight for those who live in Europe, with 1 tablespoon of fat, or 2. You're not eating because you're hungry as a snack. You're eating to stabilize your blood sugar. Yes, very, very important. Stabilizing your blood sugar will help the gut heal. Going to bed will help the gut heal early. Go to bed early. But the rotation of the foods, the circadian rhythm, going to bed early, diaphragmatic breathing, things like the collagen powder, no, glutamine, organ meats, because organ meats have zinc and copper, and that helps seal up the gut wall. So I think I'm going to make this a part 1, because I got more. I got a ton. Okay. Zinc, copper, you can also get that from oyster extract. Zinc and copper. Zinc helps seal the gut wall. Not the synthetic crap you get in a lab, but liver. Beautiful. All right, part 2 coming soon, and I'm out. Peace. By the way, comment below. Do you have leaky gut? Most people do. And a lot of people don't know that they have a leaking gut, and they don't understand the symptoms. Do you have leaky gut? Is one of these dietary measures helping? Comment below. Share this content, because that's how people are going to find me. Yeah. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. I run a course where I cover all 3 diets, only $15 a month. You can sign up through my website, stephanieperson.com. Also book a consultation through stephanieperson.com, where I really break down and explain to you one-on-one how to fix your fracked up gut. And I'm out. Really out this time. Peace.